It appears the Democrats have not learned a single lesson from their electoral defeat this past week. Instead of trying to figure out what went wrong, instead of trying to course correct as they move forward, they are instead doubling down on their woke rhetoric and lecturing the rest of us about what vocabulary we can and can't use. Take a look at this CNN panel, which exploded over a, quote, trans slur when someone was just using everyday words that the rest of us use.
There are a lot of families out there who don't believe boys should play girls' sports.
They're not boys. I'm not going to listen to transphobia at this table. I am not going to listen to you call a trans girl a boy.
Are you going to allow me to finish my explanation?
When you use a word that's a slur, I'm going to interrupt. That's not how it is. They're not boys. They're not boys. They're not playing girls' softball. I'm not going to sit there.
Emotional.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
Let's reset for a second because, look, this is a really heated issue, right? And Sharmichael, I know you. I know that you understand that people have different views on this. I think out of respect for Jay, let's try to talk about this in a way that is respectful.
Okay, so let me rephrase this since I'm being targeted here.
I don't. Just to be clear, you are not being targeted.
I am, but it's okay.
I'm specifically saying that I know that you are not intending to be transphobic.
He should know that I'm not. But he wants to sit here and
call you transphobic.
I want you to. I want to give you an opportunity.
So the way regular people interpret it,
that's not regular people. That's not regular people. There's no consensus that these are actually boys. This whole thing about trans girls is a canard. We're talking about a tiny, tiny sliver of the population.
That may be the
and we're
case,
using
but
that
my point in
to
terms
take
of
away
its
healthcare from thousands of people.
Hold on, just get to your point.
My point in terms of its effectiveness. Regular people with children look at these things and they say, you know what? This is a bit too far. I do not agree with this. I don't like this. I think Democrats are going way too much to the left on social issues. They're uncomfortable with it. A lot of people believe that. A lot of families believe that. You may disagree with that reality, but that's why Republicans kept running those ads over and over and over again, because they saw the metrics suggested that they were working
in those ads over and over again and using rhetoric like you just used, saying this is boys playing girls sports. First of all, we're talking about 5 people in the entire country.
You would prefer?
We're talking about trans girls being allowed to play with the people who are in their gender. And if you don't believe, you don't have to listen to me. Listen to the American Medical Association, the American Psychological Association.
The American Medical Association.
This is not about.
So he's talking about American families, and specifically when it comes to female sports, we're talking about schools, we're talking about children here, we're talking about families. I would say, if anything, grabbed my attention when it came to these conversations, because I generally don't really care about politics. That's just the truth. But as a husband and a new father, and as I think about family, the type of values that I want to embrace in my family, a lot of these conversations come up a lot. And there's a lot of gaslighting and not wanting to have these conversations without emotion. And there's a lot of very obvious delusion, and really causes average families, like he said, to worry and not take these conversations seriously at all.
Guys, just
the conversation they're having isn't even based in reality. The Democrat clearly hasn't learned the lesson. Now, look, I know I can't speak for all Trump supporters, but from my point of view, from my lived experience, I don't think that there's this nationwide crisis of trans hate or transphobia. I think most people, the vast majority of people on both sides of the aisle, are live and let live. Freedom and liberty. As long as you are a grown, consenting adult, you can do what you want. However, don't push your ideology on me.
Right.
Don't push your ideology on my children, and don't try to police our language and try to deny common sense. Because let's talk about the issues. There is a difference here. There's a reason we have men's sports and women's sports. And it's not to discriminate between men and women, but it's because there is a difference. And you know what? You can be different and equal. I mean, that's the whole reason we separated the two genders in the first place as far as sports go. It's for the safety of all participants on both sides. So why would you even try to pretend that a trans athlete wouldn't face those same physical issues in regards to their safety and other players' safety?
Listen, guys, especially to you men who are fathers, and the women as well, of course, comment down below. Let me know what you guys think about this particular conversation when it comes to your children. Would you be okay with them playing against, specifically your daughters, them playing against men in sports and pretending that those weren't biological boys to begin with. Let's check out some of these comments, see what the people have to say. First comment here says, this is the problem. Here's somebody else who added, this is it. And they just refuse to listen, refusing to listen to Sharmichael. This is the election right here in a nutshell. Wake up, this commenter says. Somebody else here added, this just made me so mad. Here's another commenter who says, they're boys, and if they were allowed to compete in my daughter's sport competitions, she wouldn't have earned her scholarship. Wow. Wow. So this is a father who has a daughter who earned a scholarship from sports. And he said if she was playing against those boys, then they wouldn't be allowed to compete. How many daughters who were incredible athletes right now are being affected by this whole conversation and situation? This next comment here says they're not biological boys is what he means. They identify as women, yes, but having a biological male in women's sports is not fair to the women based on the fact that males are stronger. And again, it's like at every turn, you can't offend, right? If you say males are stronger, which is the whole point of why you can't put those biological boys in female sports. If you say that, well, now you're offending feminists. Now you're offending another very sensitive group of people who do not accept that men are physically stronger than women. Previously on the Coffee Pod.
It's a completely different sport. The men are a lot faster. They serve harder. They hit hard. It's just a different game. And I love to play women's tennis. And I only want to play girls because I don't want to be embarrassed. I would not do the tour. I wouldn't do Billie Jean any justice. So Andy, stop it.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna let you kill me.
I'm with you when it comes to tennis. I only want to play girls. Yeah. We got that going.
All right, we're back to our final comment here that reads, this is not it at all. CNN is unwatchable, truly. Guys, listen, as always, I'm Krishna. What do you think? Comment down below. Till next time, I'm out. Peace.